Bring back Twitter Blue, you cowards. Bring it back. This episode is brought to you by my latest album. So here it is on Bandcamp. Got a bunch of DOS-inspired tunes, like some medieval magical sounds, I guess is what it would be. And we got a few things that are inspired by sci-fi and cyberpunk in the middle. We've even got some fully symphonic songs on this album. So check it out and let me know which ones are your favorite. You can always leave some comments over here telling me which ones are your favorite. I'm very curious about that. If you don't want to be able to download the high quality versions of the music on Bandcamp and you don't care about owning your music, you can also grab it on Spotify and Apple Music and pretty much any other major store. So I hope you're enjoying the album. That's why I made it. All the links are in the top of the description. And now on to our regularly scheduled program. You know, you're sitting there and you're watching something and it's like you're really getting into a show, then someone just comes in and turns off the TV and says, like, screw you. It's like, what are you doing? I was watching that. Twitter Blue, I was watching that. Musk, turn it back on. Like, why? I was really enjoying this. At first, it was like, okay, everything's a shit show. There's, this idiot megalomaniac billionaire showed up to take over. And I just thought that everything was going to go completely smoothly if he walks in, fires half the people, and says, hey, I'm in charge of the digital town square. Yes, the digital town square. That's what he thinks Twitter is, even though it's really just a bunch of idiots going on there and shouting anything. You could just go and shout. Twitter's not really a good place for conversations because it's not really a conversation. You're not actually going back and forth with anybody. You're not like sitting down across a table having a drink and chatting with people. You're not meeting in public. You're not in a chat room. You're basically going and saying something and it goes out there, and it's not like it's just your friends that can see it. It's anybody that can see it. So you can go and scream something into the ether, into the abyss of the internet, and people will come and scream back. That's not how a town square works. And town squares also do not have dictators. They don't have billionaire, insane leaders who show up and just change things at any second. That's not how a town square works. So everything about this has been a shit show, and I got really sick of seeing Musk and all of that bullshit and all the people who follow him. I got sick of seeing all of his sycophants, all the people who defend him. I got sick of hearing about his companies. I got sick of hearing about the takeover. But Twitter is really like the place that I enjoy the most when it comes to social media. I still think social media would be better if it were not like a thing. If we could go back and choose not to go down the social media path, I think society would be 1,000 times better. We would be in a better place. Everything would be better about society if we did not have social media. But since this is what we have, Twitter's the one place where I found the most interesting individuals, the best artists to follow, the best advice to follow, decent people showing up, not just like the nonsense on Facebook and the conspiracy theories. You can find that on Twitter, but Twitter has also been really good for a lot of people who, especially in the world of like art and stuff like that, being able to share your work. It's been really good for a lot of those people. So it'll be sad if that goes away. I'm not sure what the alternative is. I'm not sure how a lot of the indie artists and musicians and game developers and stuff like that are going to be able to easily get their word out. It was by far the best platform for that type of activity. And this whole entire change has been very sad from that angle. And I've gone in and I've decided, I'm going to mute and block all of this stuff. Mute the word Elon, mute the word Elon Musk, mute at Elon Musk, mute all that stuff, just because I got sick of hearing about it. And, the day after I did all that and blocked everything, the first thing on the top of my page the next day when I woke up and just opened it up, took a look, was Elon Musk on the top of the page saying, hey, go out and vote for Republicans. And it's like, I've got you muted. Why are you it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is why you can't let a billionaire run something that's for the public, because their interests are completely not aligned with the public. So anyway, it's almost impossible to ignore this stuff, and it's making Twitter not as fun. It was getting really not fun for a while because it's all you saw. It's like, I just want to go on there and see what new indie games are going on, look at some shit posts and some silly memes and people talking about old school retro games and joking around about whatever Silent Hill and, Resident Evil, stuff like that, during the Halloween season. That's all I wanted to see, just goofing off and stuff like that, but you can't avoid it. So I was starting to ignore it a little bit, looking at Mastodon, thinking about starting a new forum just for gaming and stuff that I'm more connected to than tech. Sorry, everyone who loves tech. I like gaming a lot more than tech, and I like music a lot more than tech. Tech was just a means to get to the gaming. You know what I mean? You need the tech to get to the gaming. So anyway, something amazing happened. This stupid idea of allowing anyone to be verified. The whole hey, we'll just charge $8 and let people have a verification check mark. Nothing can go bad, right? Right? Because the way the check marks work, if you're someone who doesn't know how Twitter works, you can get a check mark if you're someone who's like a notable public figure or a celebrity or something like that. And the reason being is because if you don't have a check mark, there's no way to verify that you're the real person. So if you're posting as Tom Hanks and you come out there and you're like, I eat babies every day, and it's like, that's not the real Tom Hanks, because the real Tom Hanks has been verified. So there's a way to tell the difference. But Elon Musk shows up and he's like, power to the people. Anyone can have a check mark, not just the celebrities and not just the notable public figures and the companies who, or the brands and stuff like that, who need to make sure that whenever they say something, they have a way to verify that this is them officially saying these things. So he was like, no, everybody gets a check mark. You just got to give me $8. He started off with $20, but he got sad because Stephen King was like, that's stupid. And he was like, well, how about $8, bro? I got to make money, bro. And of course, all of his sycophants are hilarious because they're like, yeah, power to the people, buy Doge or whatever the hell they do. So anyway, God, you can read some of these articles, but I don't recommend it. It's just, this guy thinks he knows everything, but he's an idiot, and he's surrounded by sycophants and yes men. And the top of the page is just a Hatsune Miku quote. Isn't that wonderful? The new Twitter, the banner is this with the Hatsune Miku quote. So anyway, we started getting stuff like this, which is beautiful. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm actually enjoying this. And then we started getting more of these. This is, obviously the real account, right? If you don't know, this Republican idiot posted that, hey, if more children had been taken to Hooters back in the day while they were growing up, then they would have voted Republican now. If more children. These are the same people who don't want drag queens and trans people anywhere near their kids because they're getting groomed. Even though there's no evidence of that. But we want to make sure that we take all of our children to Hooters at an early age so that they can become Republicans, because children looking at boobies under a thick, not even that revealing tank top is... I don't understand that. But anyway, it's funny. So there's obviously these are real tweets, right? Yes, obviously that's the real Ben Shapiro right there. This one was amazing today. Their stock took a pretty fair nosedive after this, and they had to release an apology saying like, hey, that's not us. It is them. There are some people I know that are saying that this is not correlated, that the stocks have gone down anyway. And that's maybe true, but the fun thing about a lot of this is when you see stuff like this, you see like these false tweets they're basically just telling the truth. People are pretending to be brands and telling the truth. And it's like, I thought this was going to get old after a couple days because we all know it's not the real brand. It's just a parody. And all the Elon Musk fans are like, that's illegal. It's illegal, everybody. You can't go and impersonate people. And yet here they are doing it. And I think it's hilarious because they're impersonating billionaires and corporations who are doing terrible things. This one, we steal your water and sell it back to you, lol. It's hilarious. Like, to me, this is like the best thing on the internet right now. I'm like super enjoying this. I am enjoying this so much. So what's funny about this is like, so this company, this one in particular, this is the company that makes insulin, and they're charging like a 9,000% markup, something stupid like that. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it's like they cost like $10 to make it. And they're charging like a couple $100, $290. I don't know. They're charging an absurd markup for insulin, which is a life-saving drug. And then someone posts this, their stock happens to go down at around the same time. Whether or not it's correlated, I don't care. It's hilarious. And it looks amazing. Like, this is hilarious to me. And then the company has to go and be like, okay, we're sorry, that wasn't us. Like heads up, we didn't actually say that. They have to come out and be like, listen, we're not actually going to do the right thing. Just so you know, we're keep your money invested with us. We're going to continue to screw people over. And so that's what all these companies are being forced to do right now, as people just literally go online and say asinine things that happen to be the truth for the most part. Or they say things that are just parodies of how evil everything has become. And then the companies have to jump in there and be like, well, hold on a minute. We're going to continue apartheid. We're going to continue violating human rights. We're going to continue abusing our workers. We're going to continue gouging prices for the regular consumers. We're going to continue benefiting from the poverty and near slave wages and all that sort of thing. Don't worry. We're going to continue doing those things so that we can make our stockholders money. And I've really enjoyed watching this. And then they just turned it off. They turned it off. So now apparently you can't subscribe to Blue anymore. They tried to fix it by making 2 verifications. You had the one verification that says this is verified because it's official. Then there was another verification, which was the same symbol but an outline that says this is an official verification, meaning that this person has verified because they're verified, not because they paid money to be verified. But that wasn't working out, and it looked goofy, so then they changed it to just one logo, but you had to click on it to see if the person had paid to be verified or not paid to be verified. And then someone made a Google Chrome extension that allowed you to see if someone was really verified or if they only paid to be verified. And then it's just gone now. It's just over. And I was watching that. It was so hilarious. I'm so sad that it's over. Like, I was starting to enjoy Twitter again. But no, we can't have nice things. Where's some more of these things? And this is like such... we just overthrown the government of Brazil. Did the real Chiquita... I think they also posted, like, no, LOL, we haven't overthrown a government since 1952, which is true. But I think a lot of people don't even know that that's how the phrase Banana Republic, maybe someone posting this parody nonsense, this illegal parody, maybe that got someone else to go and look up, Banana Republics. Where did that phrase come from? Why the hell is there a store called the Banana Republic? Dave Chappelle, this is... Oh, God. This is like juvenile, hilarious humor. So anyway, I have no idea what's going to happen to Twitter. I have no idea where everybody's going to go. I have no idea what's going to become of all the cool people I've met on there. I mean, it's going to probably crash and catch on fire because let's just face one thing. Elon Musk thinks he's the smartest person on the earth because people in the media and his friends around him continually tell him that he's a genius for taking credit for things that other people have done. It's like, he's got a lot of money and his stock is based on a lot of hype. He has a lot of like money bros and Doge bros and his little fan club that chases him around and thinks that he's like the smartest thing on the earth. So he's running this now. People on the inside are saying that he's a tyrant. You've got the security team leaving Twitter. I think it was today. Like, a lot of the oversight people have left Twitter. The entire Twitter gaming account that had over 1 million followers, they're all gone. And people are now that, the firing's over, but now people are leaving because they, stuff's going on that is, they're leaving, and they're also encouraging the employees that remain to warn the FCC of some of the stuff that's going on. Who knows what's going on, but it looks like things are going to get worse. I imagine some of these companies are going to start suing. I imagine a lot of the ex-employees are going to be suing. So I don't see Twitter sticking around in its current form for much longer. There's probably a bankruptcy coming up. It paid 40-something billion. It's worth under $8 billion at the time of making this video. It's probably going to go down even further. I'm just hoping that maybe it'll sell again. I don't know. There's also trying to cut server costs, so the fail whale will probably return. Having said all that, I do want to start a forum, but I don't want to be like the head honcho dictator of it. I'm not really that much of an online communicator. I'm more of a face-to-face, sit down and have a beer communicator, but I really do miss the days when we had the forum. And, we sent the forum over to level 1 and it's there. And I don't actually miss that forum as much because I wasn't very involved. I'm not super into tech, and I'm not super into, getting 5 extra FPS like looking at every new piece of hardware and stuff that comes out. And I'm not into the elitism that goes along with a lot of the stuff in that space, like people who are like super into certain operating systems and they kind of gatekeep things, and just there's a lot of that kind of stuff in that space. And I really like cozier, more chill stuff, gaming, game audio, retro stuff, retro hardware, and I really like what we do with those products. So I've been thinking about starting just a new forum for everyone to hang out in. I'll be active here and there, but let me know what you think of that idea. Like, would you come and hang out at a new forum that's mostly based on gaming and fun and, the community that shows up around that type of activity, like retro gaming, tabletop gaming, maybe getting together and like arranging groups to play gaming, having gaming nights and stuff like that, meeting people who are also into those things. And I will absolutely have rules. This whole like the free speech absolutists, that's not welcome, because that's usually just code for people who want to show up and say a bunch of racist things, and that'll scare away a lot of people. So by showing up on a forum and screaming the N-word and using Xbox gamer language from back in the day, what happens is we end up getting just a cesspool of a bunch of angry dudes, usually, who want to get together and talk about how much they hate everything. And that removes everyone else's right to have a nice environment. If someone shows up at my house, takes a piss, curses at all my friends and stuff, well, you're going to scare away all the cool people, and then we're just going to have assholes like you. So what we're going to do is throw you the fuck out. There will be that form of censorship. If you don't like it, please don't show up on the forum. So I need to think up some category ideas and stuff like that. If you want to like help me get this going, let me know, like in the comments, and I'll contact you. I'll set up the server, stuff like that. It'd probably cost $20, $30 a month or whatever. We'll get that going. Don't plan on putting any Google Analytics and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't really want to make money on it. So I don't know if I even want to take donations, but we'll figure it out. I just want to be able to like, it'd be nice if there's a way to break even. Maybe like putting a link to the store on there, because that'll be the one advertisement, since it's, it's first party, not a third party thing. I'll put a link and people can buy a mouse or a keyboard. A couple of those a month will pay for the store. So that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And let me know if you're on Twitter and you're thinking about leaving, what are you thinking about doing? All right, that's enough of this little rant video here. I just want to, at this point, I just want to chill and play games and hang out and have fun. While the world burns around us, there's not a lot we can do about it. We can do a little, but at the end of the day, the most important thing we can do is have friendships, have fun, and try to take care of one another, because the corporations and the billionaires are not going to take care of us. So stop simping for them and start hanging out with your friends and just being excellent to one another. All right, goodbye.